Hello, and welcome to the W.A.I.T channel. What Am I Thinking? A podcast where two sisters share uplifting conversations on fun and sometimes serious topics.
Join us each week by clicking the notification bell and subscribing to our channel. If you enjoy the show, use the share link. It's one of the best ways to expand the conversation.
Welcome to What Am I Thinking, the W.A.I.T channel. So we are thinking about the reality von Tease of it all. Salt Lake City finale and the upcoming reunion. So it was some good TV. And I heard Andy talking on Radio Andy with John Hill about how he felt what made it really great was that it wasn't widely revealed. And a lot of people were surprised. However, I was not surprised because, Lori, you had gotten that tea from somewhere that was what it was all about, related what happened with, what Heather had heard and what was it about. So I'm not sure where you scooped, but it was not a surprise to me because you had already kind of let me know that was what was going to happen. But it was nice to watch it unfold. So what do you say?
I would have to say, first off, hats off to the producers and the editing. I just think when I look at all of the franchise this year, they have gotten A+, in the way they piece together their shows, and that 2 hours later, 4 hours earlier.
Yeah, they did a good job with that. They really did.
But what I would say to the leaking, I'm not sure what Bravo is going to do about this, because this is not the only show where this has happened, where before something has aired, we, the viewers, already know what is coming. And it kind of makes it a little anticlimactic if you know. Now,
he was pleased with it because when they recorded their reunion, he commended the women for not letting it out because, like I said, wherever you heard it from, it obviously was not widely spread because most people were really surprised, according to him, and the ratings and a lot of people who he has talked to. So he commended the lady, saying it did not, and maybe it made it. When we say that, maybe it didn't make it to some of the mainstream outlets to report on it, and they left it alone. And for those diehard people who follow certain bloggers and things like that, maybe that's where it was at, but it did not kind of take over the internet in a way that spoiled it for most people.
And what I will have to say is it wasn't until, I think it was like the week leading up to Christmas, when one of the bloggers went on and he spoke about how he was interrupting his holiday so that he could share this really good tea. And that's when I found out.
Right.
So, I mean, I would have to say that given the time and how many weeks went by before we actually found out what that teaser was, I would have to say, yeah, they did really good. But in shows like this, especially with as dramatic an ending as Salt Lake City had, I am surprised that they made it that long.
True, because think of all the other people involved that are not actually getting paid by the show that could have told. You know, the Tanisha herself could have spilled the tea.
So let's just jump right in to all of this, okay? Because I'm not going to play the Team Monica or Team the other girls. I'm not even going to play that because someone said something that was quite. It caused me to think a little bit that what she did was no different than what many other women in the reality TV sphere of the housewives have done themselves. To name one person, Monique on Potomac, how people said that she paid someone to blog for her. So this person also indicated that yes, while what she did was bad and she got caught, he was surprised at how shocked the women were behaving, and and he kind of felt like that was the good TV, them behaving the way they were, because he was sure that they commented on this page or had something to say or had someone to say something as well. So again, I'm not team anybody. I just thought that that was interesting, that that's the way this particular blogger would see this whole scenario. What do you
I
think?
see it a little different because it, it was more disingenuous. And I would have respected her more because if her goal and role on that, on Reality Von Tease was about taking Jen down, Jen Shaw, then that could have been a great entryway into the group about that. She showed her hand seemingly about how she helped the FBI. She showed her hand seemingly about telling about how horrible Jen was to work for her. So why not take it all the way? If that was all you did and you were no longer really tied to it anymore, I think they could have received it, and she could have really kind of came in and let the ladies know. And I also know who was behind trashing you all. It wasn't me, but you know what I'm saying? If I would have preferred that instead of her, if she hadn't tried to come in and spread more dirt, whether it was being told to her, whether she was the one putting it out there about Angie and all that stuff, I would have preferred it, because she ended up, as we know, on the beach with Heather saying, I would do something like that. So it's like, why not just have come in with showing all your cards instead of still hiding that hand?
And that's part of the reason I feel that this is not the end of the story. I think that there's much more behind it, and how in her confessional, she did say that she never was given the opportunity to really talk about all of the other parties involved. And I'm wondering if in some way she's going to implicate one of the other ladies.
I think she would have done it in the moment because, she tried to talk about Angie, who liked stuff and who did make comments on the page, and they showed that stuff. I think if she had more, that would have been the time for her to tell it. I think it may be some people that are adjacent to the site that might also shock the ladies a little bit. And I think part of it, because like she said, I'm not going to reveal the other people. That's what she said in her confessional. So I don't know if she continues to take that stance and just is like, myself and Tanisha, the only ones that are out there. Let's let everybody else stay, behind the curtain. I don't know. I don't see a benefit in that to her at this point, but it may be. And that may be a way for her to still be able to drop some nuggets to them under another website name or something, or who knows. But to me, the trust has been really messed up in a way that it will be hard for him to come back from. But I did hear someone's, actually she said it was her when she went live after the show. She said that she still is okay with Meredith, and I want to say with Mary, that they kind of may talk, but she may not be talking to the other ladies. And I want to say that may be post reunion, because I want to say up to the reunion, I don't think there was any communication with her from the other ladies. So it'll be interesting. I know I've heard people say, yes, she should get an opportunity to continue. More people are saying, no, she shouldn't. I don't care if they allow her to continue on the show, but I think it's going to be difficult to make it seem real unless they really make some headway at the reunion.
I just from the different podcasts that I've watched, and I've not taken a survey, but it seems that people feel that she earned her paycheck on her first season and that she's the reason Salt Lake's ratings were so high, her and the few times that Mary showed up. I think that these women, they want the show to continue. They realize that they themselves don't have really the traction to keep the show going and to keep the ratings going higher. Because even like with Angie joining the cast, I think she brought zero to
Yeah,
this.
she was. And I would have rather had the Dana person to be on there who was giving it to Jen Shaw last season, but she was a friend. I thought she would have brought more than Angie, but I think that might have been sort of a gift to Lisa to have it be Angie K that they added. So I don't know what they're going to do, what kind of mix-up they're going to have. Like I said, I'm fine with Monica coming back because I do, you know how, because this is what Andy was saying, hurt people hurt people. We know she had a not so great upbringing. We know she has this not great relationship with her mother. And all of those things impact how you show up in the world. And this is the other thing that I said, why she should have gone ahead and showed all of her cards. One of the things that kind of made me wonder about her in the beginning is how she put her dirt out there from jump about the affair with the brother-in-law and all of that. It was as if she was like, I'm going to tell on myself because I don't need anybody else telling on me because I know how that goes. But I'm like, that would have been even the more reason to tell the full story about her relationship to that site. And I really wish she had done that because she did add a lot, and I did. She can be explosive. She can go from 0 to 10 like her former employer. She doesn't get as handsy as her former employer, but somebody said that all the things that she disliked about Jen Shaw, that she kind of turned into that herself. I don't know if I agree with that, but I do believe there were some aspects of Jen Shaw's personality that are akin to her, and she needs to be careful of that because that was one of the reasons she said she wanted to bring Jen down because of how horribly she treated the people that worked for her. But it's not just about people who work for you. It's about people who are around you, period. That, and I don't think she would have liked the way she handled things with the ladies when it comes to not sharing this information. I don't think what she did in and of itself with the website was the bad thing. I think not disclosing it and joining the friend group is the sin.
Well, definitely to be a part of the show, you're hoping that these are real relationships. And I know that you could see the strain this season amongst the women.
For sure.
Heather and, her name just left me. Whitney. Heather and Whitney, they do not like each other. It's just so clear they do not like each other. Meredith and Lisa just trying their best for the show, I'm quite sure, to make amends. And what wasn't a shocker, because I know the season before the last season that Jen Shaw was on, and
Mm-hmm.
the black eye with Heather.
Right.
And I would say out of everybody that watched that show, this is going to be a high number. 95% of us knew what happened that night.
Yeah,
I bet.
I think we just were surprised that she held on to it as long as she did. Because my thing was, once Jen was convicted and pled guilty or whatever, I'm like, now you can tell. You can tell what really happened because, or even, they were saying on the book tour, in the book or whatever, but I knew that she was being protective. That was the only thing that made sense. All these things about surgery and this and that. And it was like, no, Jen gave her a black eye. And she just is, we knew she would fall. She was falling on her sword for Jen from day one.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't she do it, as she said, ride or die to the end, even though Jen didn't deserve it? That was what she did. And that's a big part of the angst that Whitney has against Heather.
Yeah.
Is that she was so ride or die for her and felt like that wasn't reciprocated to her. And she's right in a lot of ways, but who's to say that it should have been? Because they really have that type of, whatever kind of cousins they want to say they are. I don't think they didn't grow up together as cousins. They found each other as adults, is my understanding. And if that's the case, then you have to build a relationship. And I don't think their relationship was built to the degree to warrant it weathering, all the storms that they have been through, which is why people say they don't like each other. And I don't think they have truly healed or mended what was broken. I think they're just faking it till they can make it for the show. Same way, as you said, with Lisa and Meredith. Meredith is not happy with Lisa that she dogged her out on that boat like that at all.
No, she's not.
Get that. As much as she says she don't hold a grudge, she does not forget. So she ain't happy with Lisa. Lisa still is not thrilled with her over the stuff she said 2 seasons ago. And they're just trying to make it and pull it together for the sake of keeping the show. And, this something like they want to build on what happened with Monica, because everybody really kind of seems to be like, this was such a great reality moment. But the only way you can truly build on that is to bring Monica back.
Monica has to come back. She has to come back because if the supposed friendships that these women showed us are real, we need to see those bonds and the strengthening of those bonds with Monica being a part of that mix. And you also need to give her the opportunity to explain herself, not just at the reunion, but throughout a season. Because, like you said, hurt people, that's true. But I think it goes even deeper with Monica and why she chose to do this and how she had to know. She had to know that it was a secret that she was not going to be able to keep for long.
So, will they check the box of allowing Monica to come back in the same way they allowed a charged with a trial pending Jen Shaw to come back? Or will they condemn her without a trial the way they did Phaedra after the lie she told on Candy? So we've seen them go both ways, but let's see which way they choose to go with Monica. If they're trying to get ratings and save the show, she will return, because they would have to have some doozy of a cast change to make it last through more than one more season. That's what I'm thinking, Lori.
And the thing is, we're not going to know for months and months.
No, because Andy said that they haven't started talking about, contracts and who's coming back and, what the mix of the cast is going to be and all that stuff. So they're going to drag it out, but they can't drag it out forever because they got to start taping. They don't have down cameras for too long before they start taping again. So,
and if they would look at what happened with Jersey and Teresa saying that she would not film with her sister-in-law, have cameras been rolling?
Oh, they finished their season.
And is Melissa still there?
Yeah.
Exactly. So they're going to suck it up and they're going to have her come back and they're going to have to figure out how they're going to work together. And I think if she's talking to Meredith, I believe Meredith has come to that conclusion as well.
Maybe so. So what are you thinking? We don't want to say whether you're team Monica or team everybody else. It's all about how do you see it? Is what she did forgivable? Is it something they can move past? For goodness sakes, if they can make Scandival work to continue with Vanderpump Rules, I believe Bravo will figure out how to make it work with Monica still a part of the cast. They'll figure it out because we know it's really not about the viewers' opinions. It's about how many people are viewing and making the bucks for their for the commercials. That's what it's about, the money. That's how they're making their money. So what do you think, Lori?
I agree with you 100%. I think as the viewers, we have to realize it's not about team anybody. It's about the shock value. It's about the extremes in emotions. And Monica, she brings it all.
All right, go on and close this out, Lori.
Okay, so why don't you let us know what you are thinking about Salt Lake City, the Monica issue, the black eye, and anything else you'd like to share. Leave your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to tune in next time for the W.A.I.T channel to know and hear what we are thinking.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely ours and should be taken as such. Our thoughts are intended purely for entertainment purposes. Please do not take anything we say as fact or advice. Thank you for listening.